Hello everyone, my name is Boulevard, and I've only played 2 decks since patch 3.19 have come out, Jace Heimerdinger and this Demacia Leona deck, and I've seen Diana Leona gaining a lot of traction, and I've been playing this Demacia variant, and I had someone send me a picture of it today to ask if it was still the updated version, and that was sort of the first time that I realized that I only play 3 spells, which are Single Combat, Concerted Strike, and Sunburst, which are sort of the main reasons that I'm Demacia. The latter is a little aggressive, so Sunforger plus a strike spell comes in really huge there, as well as I just get the feeling that Diana is not the most consistent removal spell for some of the backline champions that we have in the game right now. And ultimately, I've just been really loving this version, so I wanted to kind of walk you through some gameplay with it, and, you know, maybe I don't convince you onto the Demacia variant, but maybe there's some tech in here that you can put into your Shadow Isle version to help up your win rate a little bit going into the World Championship. So this is just a brief overview of the list, nothing special. It's like, you know, Lunari Duskbringer's in here, a bunch of Daybreak cards. Laurent Duelist was actually a pretty big buff for this deck. Usually try to get this down onto either I'll get it down onto Sunhawk, but usually it's either Sun Guardian or Ravoon. I mean, Eclipse Dragon would be cool and all, Galio would be cool, but it's just something that hasn't come up. And I have played quite a few games on this deck with quite a good win rate, and it's what got me into Masters this season, so let's look at some gameplay of it, and you can kind of judge for yourself. I feel like I used the same board and Guardian in every video, and I want to switch it up a little bit. Scrolling through all the card backs is there's so many of them. It feels like I have a lot of boards, because like 4 of them are basically the same. It really doesn't. I don't think I've used the Tabletop Tavern in a minute, so that's what we'll go with. All right, I haven't actually played this deck in a few days. I think, so today's Sunday, and the last time I played it was either Thursday or Friday, because after that I got onto my Jace Heimer kick, which I'll have a very in-depth Jace Heimer video coming this week with some information on it. Just, I don't know, it's what I felt compelled to create, so that is what you are getting, as well as obviously the tournament tactician for the World Championship qualifier. And outside of those 2 videos, I don't know what I'm doing with the rest of my content for the week. You know, I'm putting on a couple of the broadcasts in the background, so that's like taking up a little of my time, but not like an insane amount. All right, but that might change as the week goes on. So we got Zoe Teemo, a great representation of one of the more popular decks in the meta right now, so we'll get you a good idea of... This don't look great. Aphelios actually... No, Aphelios is good in this matchup. Sun Guardian might have to go. I don't really want to get rid of all of these spells either. Hang on to a Sunburst. But it's definitely a little more awkward than I want to be. I think in this matchup I want to be the aggressor. Okay, Single Combat's a phenomenal pickup. And just kind of like get on board early with like my 1-drops. And maybe the Sunburst Keep was a little troll, but I know how out of hand the stats can get, and I really don't want to screw around with them, like getting a Zoe down.
Ours is the one true light.
Am I supposed to Single Combat one of these? Probably. If I wait until next turn and I Single Combat and then play Aphelios, is that... I don't really want to give him a star chart. But, makes my following turns just kind of messy. I think Zoe's the kill here. The Shrooms are like kind of whatever, because I do have a nominal amount of healing in this deck. Really the only healing is Sunforger, but it's enough in most cases. I think I just attack here, and then we kind of wait and see. I don't really want to throw down Sun Guardian, because then I'm, like, 4 mana is so awkward. I can't Aphelios, I can't Sunburst. So I think I just have to take a pass on this turn. I'm not opposed to either Single Combat or Darken Aegis, but if possible, I'd like to bank the spell mana and throw one of those down next turn with Aphelios. Perfect. Oh, nice. Leona is a really big part of this matchup, which, like, obviously you also get out of the Shadow Isle variant, right? I want to Darken Aegis first. And then I want to play Aphelios. And then I still have Single Combat open. And this is going to force them into combat because I could grab Calibrum, which means I shouldn't grab Calibrum. I should grab, like, Gravitum, because they're expecting the Calibrum, so they're instantly going to go to combat anyway. We'll grab Gravitum, because next turn I'm playing Leona and challenging with her anyway. And yeah, Yeah, that's a 5 that I'll just take. And then next turn is probably, like, Leona into Gravitum on... Like, Leona will challenge Teemo, Gravitum will stun the Shield Bearer. Oh, Sunforger. I don't know if I need the Sunforger yet, but I'm also a little worried that this is, like, my last opportunity to Sunforger. And if I go for Leona and then they grow Teemo to a 5/5, that's pretty awkward. Is it like Sun Guardian Gravitum? And then set up for, like, I won't have access to Calibrum for a preemptive play. Leona doesn't feel great here because I do get really blown out by that 5/5 spell. Might be, yeah, it might be Sun Guardian. And now I have, you know, Sunforger and Leona for a defensive turn. I'll have Gravitum onto this. I don't think they're going to get to a point where they can kill me on the open attack. I don't think Infernum really... Maybe Infernum's correct to actually buff up the Leona, but... I don't like how much they're passing, and I kind of have to push this 9 damage.
Devotion to battle.
I don't care if Aphelios dies. I would rather get a combat trick out of their hand and have them kill Aphelios than, you know, have them push that into my Nexus. So if you wanna do this and then grow Teemo to a 5/5, yeah, that's fine. I'm happy that you didn't do that to my Nexus. See, this is something that's always been a little confusing to me, and I see people do it a lot, where, like, you should have just run out all these fucking units before I attacked. Like, there's absolutely nothing that... Like, there was no Challenger I was going to play on 2 mana in this deck. Like, I have access to Petrified Broadwing, which does not inherently have Challenger. I do not think there is a 1 or 2 mana Challenger that I could have played that made it correct for my opponent not to run out all of these units beforehand. Now my question is, if they don't open attack, then is it better to Sunforger or is it better to Sunburst and then have single combat for something? Or is it better, because Leona will stun this. So I'm never looking at lethal because 2 more sudden impacts would still only be 11 damage. So it's either Sunburst or it's Leona, and I'm pretty sure it's Leona.
Bask in the light's radiance.
And now, next turn, she'll level, so she'll be at 4 attack and 6 health, which means she's no longer afraid of the Sudden Surge. And I think I'm actually just good to take all of this as well. Because next turn, I Sunforger, and then I could single combat with the Sunforger, and we're chilling. The concern right now is, how do I win through Harazi? Like, can I clear off enough of these elusives? It's 2 Harazis, so they definitely have Harazi on 8. I mean, honestly, I think I can handle, because I think I can push through all of their remaining elusives with Sunburst. Like, I think I can clear out all of the elusives, and then, like, it doesn't matter if you have Harazi, right? Plus, I'm not going to be at 7. I'm about to be at, like, as high as 17 if I want it.
Forge ahead. Punish transgressions.
I said bug.
Now comes the question of, like, what combat tricks come out. Okay, there's the battle bonds. I'm feeling a concerted here from you and you. Does that sound good? Oh, let me do you and Leona in case there's, like, random hush or something. And this still kills through another battle bonds. Seems correct. I don't really care about Teemo not dying because I have single combat for next turn. And he's only going to be at 1 health. Oh, Teemo's actually amping it up. But still, Teemo's going to be at, you know, 2 health, which currently means if my opponent goes Harazi, I should be able to Sunburst and single combat away most of the elusives. Now, not quite as many as I wanted to. They're actually just not going for Harazi. They're actually just whole hogging me here.
Forgive me.
Is there anything they can have to save this Teemo? I just really don't want to get the shrooms doubled. So I do have to take out Teemo specifically. And then it's probably Eclipse Dragon. I don't think Crescendum and Sunbursting something is... Well, it goes wider if their defensive play here is Harazi. They don't really have punishes for not opening, though, so I can kind of play out my hand next turn.
From life.
Yeah. That's fine. The concern is, like, you know, what if they draw the double stun? Do I just lose to that? Probably. Can I get around it? Good question. Question 1 is, am I Daybreaking Solari Priestess or Sunburst? If I Solari Priestess, I can still Mountain Drake and Duskbringer, or I can Traveler and Crescendum. If I Sunburst, really just Traveler. Does it go wide? Let's see what we get off this. Might be able to... Oh, actually,
Sunlight guide you,
Golden
my
Sister.
brethren.
Kind of a perfect pickup. I was mostly thinking about, like, Meteor Shower. Or not Meteor Shower, but, no, yeah, Meteor Shower, right? No, Falling Comet. That's the one. I was thinking of Falling Comet. Okay, Star Chart, what you got for me? My plan is to set up lethal attacks and be like, hey, you do have to, like, trade off part of your board here. Equinox? Okay, not too bad. Golden Sisters. Gonna hang back the Silver Sister, but I think I'm swinging with everything else.
Follow the horizon.
They're gonna have to trade out some amount of their, like, this lives. What can they let through? They can let through 2 attackers. They can let through 2 things, so they have to block 3 things. So they actually only lose 1 thing, which is less things than I wanted them to lose.
Fear not death.
And that Equinox. But I have a blocker for whatever gets buffed by the Harazi. The other Harazi weapon is still tied up on Zoe. So just don't get rid of my Silver Sister, please. Even if they give me an opportunity, though, to Sunburst pre-combat, it's going to be kind of questionable on... Okay, well, that's a bit of an issue. No, it's not. Because now they have to... They're showing me that they want to replay Harazi. Please play Harazi.
Oh dear.
Nuts. Yeah, the Overwhelm weapon here is certainly awkward. Luckily, it's not on Harazi, or I'd actually just be dead. But I do believe it's probably more health blocked to actually... Yeah, just barely, though. Second question, do I want to kill Harazi? They're so low that I think it's correct to play it like this. And just... What can they even have here? It's got to be like Getting 2 damage is relatively easy for them. Getting 3 is harder, but if they have 2, I'm probably dead because I have shrooms in deck. Okay, it's not lethal, but I do have 13 shrooms, so a little worried about that.
They forced us to
So this is probably just like
death or the blade.
run out units, play Dark Age Sky. It also kind of depends on if they play anything here, because I don't want to get Crescent struck. There's the Flayed. Let's play Geralt. And then I can either Traveler or I can Duskbringer Crescendum. They didn't play their card, which makes me think it's Crescent Strike. So I'm gonna just go as wide as possible. Okay, Esmus is not great.
Night flowers upon my blade.
That said, you know, I still have the mana to, like, play units next turn. Oh, that's huge, actually. Okay, that's really good. I think... So I'm a little worried about Pokestick saving them. So I want to overwrite one of my 1-attack units, because this still turns this into a lethal threat. Whereas, like, if I overwrite this, then, like, both 2-1s have to connect anyway. You know what I mean? So if I can get Crescent Struck here, then I can still take a blocker out with Sunburst and play Traveler over one of the units. So let's Traveler first to see if we get another attacker. Yeah, I'll take Serpent. So now we can Serpent over Geralt. Yeah, okay, so they play Harazi. They play Serpent over Geralt. And then we Sunburst anything, really. Anything that's not Zoe or Harazi. And then we'll grab this with this. We'll buff
Lunari,
this.
rise.
They have 2 blockers. And if 2 attackers get through, they die. And I don't think they have anything for 2 mana that deals with 2 damage. They don't play Guiding Touch, do they? I'm going to be so mad if they play Guiding Touch. Okay, Pale Cascade. I was about to say. I feel like I probably could have played that cleaner.
My journey.
I didn't notice any, like, holy shit, what are you thinking moments, but anyway, yeah, you get it, you get it.